I think generally when you're down there now on the field after coming out, all you're concentrating on is the game that's ahead of you, and you're not worried about anything that's gone on in the past. And that Kilkenny team is very, very...
They play differently against Kilkenny than anybody else. Their form can be a bit iffy coming into games. We say even last year, you know, they were trounced in the Munster final. They got to the semi-final against Kilkenny. What did they produce? The game of the year last year. Now they're nice and gently into this final.
Limerick. A day of mixed emotions for one Kilkenny family, the Prendergast family from Clara. Two of their boys were in action in the minor match, but of course our thoughts are with the family as well, who lost Anthony Prendergast about a week ago at the young age of just 40. May he rest in peace. He was an All-Ireland medal winner here 10 years ago. An early switch by Tipperary. John Carroll and Brian O'Mara have switched positions, and it's Tip, of course, who won the toss, playing from left to right in the first half. An early possession here for their fullback Paul Curran. Applying the pressure. Kilkenny, however, dropped dangerously down there, but seized on by Brendan Cummins. Up to Eamon Corcoran, the wing back. A diagonal ball across. O'Mara going towards it. Swept out, however, by Sean Dowling. Scored 2 great points in the Leinster final. Dropped by Tommy Walsh. One again back there by Eamon Corcoran. Coming forward tenaciously. Inside towards John Carroll, trying to get early possession there, but Dowling is in on top of him. And one back here well by Derek Ling. Derek, who lives right on the border between Tipperary and Kilkenny, knows the passion of the fans and the great intensity and rivalry there is in the history of hurling between these two great counties. Benny Dunn up into the corner towards Owen Kelly. Very near the sideline, and Pat Horan, the linesman here from Offaly, raising his flag and indicating that it's going to be a line ball to the Cats. So interesting to see just what kind of form Owen Kelly is in. He's already been in terrific form with the under-21s, but his form with the senior team dipped a little bit. Brian Cody, the team coach, terrific job he's done. JJ Delaney. Good ball in, batted down by Benny Dunn, and Eddie Enright's there as well. Corcoran just about held on to securely there. Fired in by Benny Dunn. Good goalkeeping by James McGarry. Benny Dunn under it again. Derek Ling there as well. It runs on, beats them all to it. Away by John Hoyne, down to the inside forward line. DJ Carey's about, trying to play it in. Eddie Brennan seizing on the opportunity, coming forward here, taking the whole lot of them on. Henry Shefflin in the corner. Great shot, but right across the face of goal. Could have gone anywhere. It's gone wide. A real goal chance for Kilkenny, the All-Ireland, the Leinster champions here. As Eddie Brennan was linking up here with Henry Shefflin. It was a tight enough angle. He went for it, really blazed it, but blazed it wide. Conor Gleeson lobbing it forward there. Bit of holding. The referee has noticed the holding, and it's going to be a free into Tipperary and a chance for them to go in front, a free from the 20-metre line.
Yeah, Gerard's very noticeable already. Conor Gleeson has come out centre forward. Carroll has gone wing forward, and Brian O'Mara's gone in full. So they're playing two very strong in the half forward line as such.
It's a kind of a trio of players that they tend to rotate all through matches. 4 points between them when they met at this stage last year. Kilkenny coming out on top. Just one between them in the league final. Owen Kelly to strike this one high and put it over. First free of the day for him. So Tipperary take an early lead. We were talking about the breeze earlier on. There's a bit of a swirling breeze always in Croke Park, and that's very much the occasion here today as well. Might be supporting... What do you think, Cyril?
I think during the first half Kilkenny have it.
Playing from right to left. This is John Hoyne. Good run inside towards Brennan, and he's put it over. Eddie Brennan came onto it to snatch it and put it over, but I think he had a goal for the taking there. Watch once again here as John Hoyne set him up, had the good vision to pick out the man in the corner who was stealing away from his marker, and instinctively he hit it up and over. Eddie has got a real history of scoring goals in major championship matches. coming close on that occasion. Kilkenny could have 2 goals on the board right now.
That's right, Ger. Like, it's very, very dangerous inside there. Both attacks could have yielded goals, and like it has to be a concern for the tip selectors.
Tiff will be concerned as well about Tommy Dunn getting his name taken there. It's just a ticking. And the foul results in this free for Henry Shefflin. Point for point they go. Good strike by Henry. Last year's hurler of the year, 2 points to 1. Lovely style, takes maximum care over it. And aware of the importance at all times. Dowling reaching up for it, lets it drop down, however. Peter Barry coming across, trying to help out the centre half-back. Great awareness at all times. Ling in the middle of the field there, of course, with Mullally for Kilkenny this afternoon. Interesting to see how that one works out. Nice pick up here, beautiful take. Benny Dunn firing it in, but a wayward one by Benny. He had more time at his disposal than perhaps he was aware of.
Yeah, Jerry could have settled on that as such, should have gone on further. Should have, here, his field here, he picks up in his own. The Kilkenny marker actually falls all the time in the world, and it's a bad miss by Benny.
Interesting contrast between Benny and Eddie Enright. Benny is a very stylish, flashy kind of player, and Eddie a very industrious man who'll go up and down the various channels. There's Eddie Enright wearing number 9. Paul Kelly under pressure, Tommy Dunn. And finally it's away by Tommy Dunn. It runs on for Brian O'Mara very favourably here. Tipped behind by a point in the early stages. Laying it back here towards Owen Kelly. And Kelly has put it between the goalposts and over. Great point. Lovely understanding there between O'Mara and Kelly. Use their experience and their confidence. It really was a very fine strike.
Tip will be very happy, Ger, because like Owen Kelly seems back on form. Mara has a look around here, places a beautiful ball across. Owen catches this on his favourite left side, won't miss them.
And those taking the notes will be aware straight away that Kelly could be really in form, which could be a problem for James Ryle. It could be worth looking at in the next 5-10 minutes. Tommy Dunn leaving this one for his brother Benny. Picked up here by Eamon Corcoran. He's really tenacious. Gets away from Tommy Walsh. Up towards Owen Kelly against Ryle, and Ryle goes in with the challenge. Referee says play on, not a foul. And that's away by Peter Barry. Some people in the crowd felt that he had upended the Tipperary player. The referee was closest to it. Nice play here. Tom Costello getting it away. Forward by Paul Kelly. And that just carries far too much pace for Lar Corbett. No way in the world he was going to be able to retrieve that one.
Yeah, Jerry, you're going to find that most. Look at this foul here, Jerry. Like, he's all over him. It should have been a free, and he pulls him back. There's no doubt about that, and he's in trouble with Owen Kelly.
A definite free. Michael Doyle there applauding his team's efforts in the early stages, but there's a long, long way to go in the second of the Guinness Hurling semi-finals. Shefflin, magnificent, but he strikes it wide. He took it brilliantly, but the striking just letting him down.
Yes, Jerry, at this stage, Shefflin is playing wing forward, and John Hine has gone into the centre.
Lots of switches and changes, trying to bamboozle the opposition. Conor Gleeson out there in the half-forward line, wearing 14. 2 men inside. Lar Corbett's after it. Hickey's after him. Stopped by James McGarry. Securely held and driven away down the field. Walsh knocking it ahead here towards Martin Comerford. Opening it out towards Henry Shefflin at right half forward. Shefflin striking, missed the last one, not this one. He's put it over the bar. That's more like it from Henry. That's his second point, the first coming from a free. Great play by the Cats, who make it 3 points to 2.
Yeah, Ger, they show great vision there, Ger. Lovely crossfield ball. See across here, no chance of picking up Shefflin. He won't miss 2 in a row.
Really showing their class here. That was brilliant. Just watched the save a little while ago here. Good touch by Lar Corbett, beating Noel Hickey to the chase there. And you can see that Michael Kavanagh all this while is picking up Brian O'Mara. Line ball to be taken by J.J. Delaney from the Fenians. What a connection. Beautifully held onto here. Eddie Brennan, Dublin-based Garda, checks his stride well and hits it sweetly. He's on form. That's 2 shots, 2 points for Eddie Brennan. Into the space, he timed his run brilliantly, carried Tom Costello with him, but Costello powerless to get in any kind of challenge. It's with Brian O'Mara now, the number 12 of Tipperary, their team captain. Owen Kelly trying to hold on to it, ready to take on Ryle once again. From 45 metres out, he strikes it brilliantly, and the cornerback's in trouble.
Yeah, Gerard, the question now will be how long they're going to get James Ryle there. He's under pressure the whole time.
3 shots by Kelly, and he's got 3 points, one of those coming from a free, and he might have had a free earlier on when he was also fouled by James Ryle. Good match, as anticipated. And DJ engineering the free to Kilkenny there. Is marker Martin Maher in a bit of difficulty. And upstepping to take the free will be Henry Shefflin. Henry playing today in his 18th championship match. And he doesn't miss too many, but he's missed one here. A goal chance earlier on. And that was a pretty straightforward one by his standards. Not what you'd expect from last year's hurler of the year. And this, a very tight match. 2 scores for Henry Shefflin from 4 attempts in all. Pressure on the Kilkenny half-back line now. How will they manage? Tipperary driven forward here by Eddie Enright. Trying to get it through once again. Carroll, the referee, has whistled. The crowd cheering, but the referee's whistle has sounded here. And it's going to be a free into Tipperary. This was the pressure once again there on Sean Dowling. And you could see the referee had whistled and the play had stopped. And it'll be a free from the 20-metre line.
Yeah, so far, Ger, the Tipperary forwards are causing a lot of problems to the Kilkenny backs. There isn't that much ball going up. Kilkenny have a slight little breeze, but every time it goes up, there's panic in there.
Both sets of backs have had their panicky moments. Kelly, happy to put this one over. That's his 4th of the day, and only 11.5 minutes are gone. I remember in the league final, as they're 4-all here, in the league final, he stepped up to take a 20-metre free just before half-time and blazed it to the back of the net. And it more or less set us up for a brilliant second half. But this is the real stuff in the championship. Nice play. Kelly being held there, it seems, but the referee says James Ryle play on. Ryle does, trying to find his feet and find some rhythm. Well, he makes the clearance, but it's just a case of getting it away from danger, keeping it away from Owen Kelly, but the inside line, the forwards, unable to benefit by that. And the pressure back on the Kilkenny backline. Paul Kelly sweeping it in. Well, really, that's a complete hit and hope one. I know he's got a very good record of striking from distance, but the forwards will be very frustrated by that. Incidentally, Lar Corbett has gone to full forward in a little switch in the last couple of seconds, so the Kilkenny backs having to constantly move around, rotate, and keep on thinking about who they're marking. Tommy Walsh has discarded the red helmet. Mark O'Leary missing it the first time. Ooh, it was Dowling who was coming on to try and hit that one, but taken instead by Tipperary and by a very disappointed Mark O'Leary. And that's now a total of 4 wides for Tipperary. Mark O'Leary is the kind of player who can suddenly hit a rush of form over 10 minutes and almost bury the opposition, then he can go out of the game completely for another 10. Crowd now getting behind the sides as Henry Shefflin takes possession. He's held. It'll be a free into the Cats. The All-Ireland champions up against their great rivals from the Premier County. So this a chance for Henry Shefflin to push Kilkenny into the lead once again. From 45 metres out, he doesn't miss. And it's 5 points to 4. Get a chance to study the free-taking style of Henry Shefflin, practically flawless build-up of bodies here on the Kilkenny 45-metre line. Down injured is well, the man who's been spoken to, I think, by the referee. First of all, let's just look at this again. It's Conor Gleeson has gone down, and Peter Barry being spoken to, and that's the reason why. A wild swing. The pull deemed to be dangerous.
Yeah, Jared,
it'll probably be a yellow card.
It was, Jared. He'll get a yellow.
Referee making sure he's got the right colour. Neither set of backs, Cyril, so far really giving you extreme confidence in their ability to withstand the pressure from the opposition.
Well, there's two problems there, Joe. One, the ball is very, very fast, hits the ground, it flies away, and secondly, the ground itself is very, very slippy. No one is that sure on their feet, and they don't want to make mistakes, but both sets are under pressure.
Kelly to strike it accurately. 5 points in all for Owen Kelly. He is Tipperary's only scorer. So 5 from 5 for Kelly. Interesting, when I was doing the little piece with Nicky English before the match commenced here, he was talking with Philly Larkin as one of the subs. He was saying, great day to be playing, and Philly say, yeah, if you were a forward, not so great if you're a back. This is won by Benny Dunn at midfield, outside towards Paul Kelly, and it's left behind. Picking it up here is Derek Ling. Going for it himself. Oh, a real searching and probing ball in there. Eddie Brennan was the lone Kilkenny attacker. Beat them all.
Yeah, Jaron, you'd wonder why Brendan Cummins came there as such, because like, he had his back underneath it. He comes out as well. If this just got it wrong, deflection to actually went to the net. No need for him to come there as such at all.
Pressure back once again on the Kilkenny backs. JJ Delaney this time trying to go back and help out. Again, it's Owen Kelly. Back here towards Mark O'Leary, going for the point himself. Still, the rest of the Tipperary forwards unable to add to the scores, being piled up by Kelly. Well, that'll be a worrying fact, even though we're still at the settling down stage of the match.
Yeah, so far, Tip will be happy enough. They're well in the game, taking it to Kilkenny.
It's cat and mouse stuff. Corcoran lets it drop down. Benny Dunn back to help out. Up towards O'Mara. Beautiful catch. Had Carroll ahead of him, goes for the score himself. Didn't need the support, and Brian O'Mara, the captain, has pointed.
Joe, you won't say any better than that as such. He goes up into the air here and catches, feeds it under 3 or 4. Had the man on the outside. Here you can see him underneath. No problem to him. Catch under pressure. Has a man here on the outside. Just doesn't give it to doesn't need to give it as such, and bangs it over. John Carroll was loose, but still a great score.
I'd also credit Benny Dunn for sending in a delightful ball there. Comerford adding to that one, inside towards Eddie Brennan. Going back is Tommy Dunn, and stopped there. It comes back out here towards Paddy Mullally. Final shot there is by Eddie Brennan, and it's a good one. This time coming loose, way out into the half-forward line. Took his opportunity, and he scored his 3rd point, and the teams are level. 5th time they've been level in this match. Mullally just playing it inside here, spotting Brennan unmarked. The back hadn't followed him. The back in this case being Martin Maher. Maher playing on the right-hand side of that back 3. Carrying it forward again is Eddie Enright, stopped by JJ Delaney. JJ steadying himself, running into a whole group of Tipperary players. Benny Dunn is one of them. Has players just ahead of him in support, stylishly holding on to it. McGarry coming, holding on, using his chest just to support the ball. Drives it way back down towards Tommy Walsh. Beaten for it once again here by Benny Dunn. Dunn close to the sideline, but that's Ryle coming out, thundering into it, finding his feet, gaining in confidence. Into the middle here towards Derek Ling from the centre of the field. It's going left, away to the left and away wide. And you can see the forwards just remonstrating with the players from midfield and the half-back, saying, give us decent ball.
Yeah, Joe, they're giving it too long and such, but it just shows you can't show too much ball around here.
Doesn't count while we were in reprise. You can see there that Tipperary through the industry of Owen Kelly, knocked it into the back of the net. He's still disgusted, but the referee's whistle had sounded. This is what happened. It was all because of a quick puck out, and the referee says you didn't wait for the whistle, and it doesn't count.
Yeah, Gerard, the rule is that the whistle has to go before the puck out comes. Goalies are pucking out very fast and giving Owen a chance as such. The rule is you have to blow the whistle. The referee dictates the pace of the game, really.
You may remember that yesterday the referee went in and talked to both goalkeepers before the game commenced. Everybody knew the ruling at that stage. JJ Delaney, beautiful catch by John Hoyne, can be so instrumental in Kilkenny's good play. Here's Derek Ling. Ling from Hurlingford has dropped it to the right. Too many of those balls from ambitious hits from way out the field are going to the right and going to the left, and it's 7 wides now for the champions. Brendan Cummins pucking it out. This time going towards Conor Gleeson's corner. Again, it is Owen Kelly who's causing havoc. They've switched JJ Delaney onto him at this stage, it seems. He's the nearest man to him, and Mark O'Leary's drifted inside and been picked up by James Ryle. Meanwhile, still it's Michael Kavanagh there, who had difficulties in the Leinster final early on, but then found his feet. Owen Kelly to hit this. 5 points so far out of Tipperary's total of 6. He's really hot. Went through a rough patch in the earlier stages of the championship, but this in the 5th match of Tipperary's voyage towards the final itself, if they're to get there. He's suddenly finding his form. He's gone back into the corner, and Ryle is still marking him. They haven't made that switch yet with Delaney. Picking it up here is Paddy Mullally, great footballer, good golfer as well, plays off 8. That beats Eddie Brennan. Doesn't beat Brendan Cummins, recovered from a leg injury sustained in the last match against Offaly. Linesman on this near side is Pat Horan from Offaly. On the opposite flank, it's John Sexton from Limerick. Good balance and control there by Sean Dowling, who's a greenkeeper, of course, in Kilkenny Golf Club. Great cut up by JJ Delaney. It's broken down and taken again here with great style and panache by Paul Kelly. Should be a free from where the ball landed, and the referee is having a little word there with Tommy Walsh for this. Watch the number 12 coming in here. Frontal charge there on Paul Kelly. Tommy Walsh is a student at UCC. If Kilkenny get to the final and he's picked at left half forward, he would be on Tom Kenny. Both of them UCC students.
Yeah,
Tommy Dunn to hit this.
Yeah, Jerry, you'll find that Brian Cody won't be too happy with Tommy Welch. Not in the game at all.
Good movement there by Eamon Corcoran. He got well away from John Hoyne. Hoyne got back, however, but he's pulled the jersey, and it's going to be a free in. Hoyne with the quizzical look on his face. Not quite in agreement with Pat O'Connor's judgment, but it results in a free in for Tipperary. But this was good thinking there by Eamon Corcoran, on the same wavelength as Tommy Dunn, who took the short free.
Yeah, Joe, I was really happy before that as Brian Cody called out Tommy Welch, give him some instruction. While he was doing that, Tommy Dunn took the short free.
It worked, and as a result of all of that, they get a point, and they all count. And Owen Kelly is taking his frees with wonderful style, and he's made it 8 points to 6. In such a tight match as this was always going to be, every solitary forward attack is going to be vital. Both teams are going to have to take a very high percentage of their chances. That spills beyond Eamon Corcoran there, back in by Eddie Brennan. And a look of disbelief on the face of the Tipperary player is Eddie Enright. Eddie from Thurles Sarsfields. This attack mounted here by John Hoyne, and the referee says it wasn't shoulder to shoulder, it was shoulder to the chest. Henry Shefflin, 3 points in the game so far. And he avails of the opportunity to make it his 4th point and put just one between them, 8-7. It's not the free-flowing game that some people anticipated. Mind you, those close enough to the game anticipated it would be tough and hard and very, very close. That it is. It's very tactical. This breaks out here to JJ Delaney once again, and to Sean Dowling. Great clearance from the right half back down towards Eddie Brennan, breaking it down once again. Haven't seen very much so far of DJ Carey in the match. The ball hasn't come his way. It's come John Hoyne's way, and it's going out towards Henry Shefflin at right half forward, remember. Getting there ahead of Eddie Enright, gets his shot in, and it's a great score by Henry Shefflin.
That's a great one, Gerald. Good, lovely flick out to him again, out into space. Very, very accurate, and it's on the touchline.
Good move to move him out from the 40 out to right half forward, because what do Tipperary do? Do they move Tommy Dunn out or leave Paul Kelly out there? It's Eddie Enright who was nearest last time, and Henry has got another. Teams level. Paddy Mullally, who's played just one more championship game, and that was 4 years ago when he was left half back for Kilkenny against Offaly in a Leinster final. Shefflin, ever present. Good style as the Cats try to sweep back into the lead with Tommy Walsh's strike. Tommy has gone into top of the right, where he's been marked now by Martin Maher. Little switch around by Kilkenny. That was a very good block by Enright. Brendan Cummins in the switch, by the way. Martin Comerford has come from full forward out to left half forward, where he's been marked by Eamon Corcoran. Noel Hickey getting it away downfield, batted back by Corcoran. Derek Ling, lovely pick up, neat, tidy, effective. DJ's gone in towards full forward, chasing after this one. Beating him to it, however, is Brendan Cummins. Two great warriors. Nice hand pass ahead here by Tom Costello. Corcoran on his left-hand side, into space. Nobody there initially. Lark Corbett trying to fill up that space, but unable to gain control. Noel Hickey very pleased with that. Hickey, the full-back. One of 6 Hickeys who play for the Dunnamaggin club. Lark Corbett, of course, from the Thurles Sarsfields side. Famed club. Again, a neat pick-up in the centre of the field by Mullally, doing a lot of hard spade work in the middle. Each side having its moment in that particular sector. That was kicked out in the end, and you can see Tommy Walsh protesting. It might be a Kilkenny ball, but the linesman having a different point of view.
Yeah, at the moment, you know, there's 3 big strong men in the Kilkenny half-hour line. Hine, Shefflin and Comerford. But inside, and you have 3 kind of lightweights, so balance mightn't be just right.
Sean Dowling coming across, but leaving it behind here. Coming onto it here, Mark O'Leary. Again, it's hit into space, and not the best passage of play. Now the side wanting to lose. Victory, so important for both teams. Great rivals, great competitors. Eddie Enright into space. John Carroll sundering after this, leaving it for Lark Corbett, taking the fullback out of position. Now, Lara's hit some wonderful points in the past from angles such as that. Impossible angles, but that was nearer to the corner flag than the goalposts. And again, just looking through the Tipperary spread of scores among their forwards, apart from Owen Kelly with his frees and a couple from play, Brian O'Mara is still the only one to score from play, and we've played just over 28 minutes of this first half. And it's not a great deal better for Kilkenny, heavily dependent on Henry Shefflin and Eddie Brennan. Here's Martin Comerford looking for a bit more space, out to Shefflin. Well, they're very dependent on him, and he's just miscued this one. Two teams struggling at times. It's a battle. Beautifully protected that time by Martin Comerford as he holds possession, trying to set something up. Here's Conor Gleeson. on his left-hand side, trying to do something about his own blank scoreline. First chance he's got, really, and he's put it over the bar. And Tipperary push back into the lead. This is Gleeson again. Big, strong fellow out there with lots of space, out of the 40 once again. Very much his position. Again, lots of pressure on the tip backs. Kilkenny once again trying to set up an attack here through Martin Comerford, going for it himself. Bounces up the stick of Brendan Cummins. They're all in after it. Henry Shefflin anticipating, trying to turn it around. Back here it comes towards John Hoyne on his left-hand side. Between the posts and over.
Jared, that's again with this new ball, Jared. The minute you get the hurl to it wrong, it's going to go about 10 or 15 yards away from him. There's no way you can really control it, and it's really causing trouble to all the players.
But frankly, it has to be said, it's crazy. Here it is again here. Watch for Brendan Cummins, trying to balance and control. Normally he'd have killed that one dead and cleared it 60 yards down the field. Brian O'Mara trying to take it into his own possession here, but leaving it instead to Eddie Enright. Henry on his left-hand side trying to fire it over the bar. Stopped by McGarry. Takes the sting out of it. Good clearance. 5 minutes to go to the break. Still 9 points apiece. Couple of goal chances for Kilkenny earlier on. DJ Carey now racing through. A buzz of anticipation just outside the 20-metre line. Heavy challenges. The referee says play on, but it's more like this rather than play, as they shape up to one another, and the referee, cool as you like, from Limerick in there just to make sure that everybody holds their nerve. Here's DJ in full flight. First time we've really seen him in the action. The challenges were coming in. Anticipating there was Tom Costello, one of the more experienced men in the Tipperary full back line, playing in his 16th championship match today, in need of some attention. So the doctor is Jerry O'Sullivan in there to make sure he's okay.
Yeah, Jerry, most people think everyone's going to give a hand pass. He's dummies here, probably half expecting a free. The ball is robbed off from here. Tom Costello gets a hard tackle here from Hoyne.
Credit Paul Curran there for his intervention against DJ Carey just moments before all of that, and the referee is going to end the uncertainty by throwing it in. Kilkenny might have felt that they were fortunate in that particular instance, as Paul Kelly takes it to himself and drives it away down the field, down towards John Carroll, the big man. Breaks down loose, driven away down the field once again. Comerford can't hold on to it. It's Eamon Corcoran instead, on his right-hand side this time. Peter Barry bounces off his hand. Lark Corber taking it up here, ready to carry the fight inside against the fullback Noel Hickey. Hickey still persisting, gets his body between the goal and the ball. The shoulder coming in from Carroll, and the stick flying out there from Hickey. Lark Corber once again. There's a couple of men over for Tipperary. One of them is Mark O'Leary, going near the sideline, however. Trying to make an angle, players calling for it. One of them is Eddie Enright. He's inside the 45-metre line when he strikes this one, and he's put it over the bar. It was hard work, but it paid off, and that's the kind of industry and that's the kind of finish I think you're going to require if you're going to reach this year's All-Ireland final. A titanic struggle, and it's 10 points to 9, and it's Mark O'Leary after the ball was swept from the right across to the left, back into the centre to Enright and over. Well, it's the kind of style I think the fans have come here and anticipated seeing. There'll be 1 extra minute to be played, and we have 2 minutes of the 35 in the first half remaining. So 3 to go before the anticipated half-time whistle. Eamon Corcoran, again left-hand side, up towards the other man in the gold helmet, Corbett. Kavanagh's marking him. Coming in here is Noel Hickey, opting to use the boot. Anywhere will do, and it'll be a line ball. Line ball for Tipperary.
Yeah, the Tip fans will be too happy a while ago there. Noel Hickey swung a hurdle back, Jerry, could have caught anyone on the face. Dangerous play and got away with it.
Certainly did. In terms of scoring chances, not much between them. Tipperary have created 20 scoring chances. Kilkenny have created 18. 10-9 on the score. And it is Paul Kelly hitting it from some distance and over.
That's a fantastic one, Gerald. Great play with Paul Kelly. He's always doing that. He shoves up the midfield, has a go.
It's his 20th ever point in Championship hurling, and today playing in his 17th Championship match. A great wing back, can infuriate the fans on occasions when he hits it very, very much to the right or left, but this was spot on and he knew it. Great score. Some great moments in the game. Frustration as well for the fans and the mentors on occasions also. And the jersey tug results in a free to Tipperary. And the man who captained them to glory a couple of years back, Tommy Dunn, is ready to take it, and John Carroll has moved back into full forward. Intensive mood, Tommy Dunn here from the Greyhounds, from Tumivara. It's from a huge distance out, going left. Can they keep it in? They can. It bounces out to the wing back towards Sean Dowling. Challenged there by Brian O'Mara. Trying to link up with Paddy Mullally. Instead, it's Tip who have the opportunity of putting a bit more daylight, but that one has just gone wide. And a bit of disappointment over there for Eddie Enright. Quick puck out. Good use of the head that time. John Hoyne driving it away back down. Bounces off the stick of DJ Carey. In there with Paul Curran, waiting for the goalkeeper, Brendan Cummins, to come and take. And the referee saw that he was being held back unfairly. DJ protests his innocence. DJ, who won't be 33 until November, mid-November.
You'd wonder, Ger, why are Kilkenny still playing Henry Shefflin wing forward? He's doing quite well, but he's really a centre forward. He's kept out the wing. He's not much into play.
Well, I can only anticipate he was hoping initially that Tommy Dunn might have switched out with him, but it hasn't worked, and that has been something like 20 minutes ago. Lark Corbett is working, but that's a great block by Michael Kavanagh, and it bounces away there. Sean Dowling gets it out. A great attack by Tipperary, but it was brilliantly defended by Kilkenny at their very best at the back. Well held by Tommy Dunn. What a player, what style and class he possesses. Corcoran coming here from wing back, pressurised the whole time. Good play by Martin Comerford just to deny him space and latitude. And this is where the forwards who love to get the glory with the scores have to do the spade work and go back and defend and harass and harry opponents. Not very glamorous, but this was brilliant by Kavanagh just moments ago here, just when Corbett was in for the score. The extra minute has been played by referee Pat O'Connor. It's at his discretion. And Kilkenny, who trail by 2 points, have Henry Shefflin back here. DJ Carey denied there by Paul Kelly. Looking good for Tipperary, approaching half-time as O'Mara plays it up towards the centre there. This is Lark Corbett. O'Mara coming back onto it. Angling it well, but not well enough. He's put it wide, explaining it all the way. Referee reaches for his whistle, and that's the end of the action. The crowds enjoyed it. The issue is very much hanging in the balance as to who will be in this year's All-Ireland final on the 14th of September. And Kilkenny with a lot of work to do, but still only 2 points behind. No goals so far to show for all the efforts in the opening 37 minutes. A couple of goal chances falling to Kilkenny, one of them missed by Henry Shefflin, the other by Eddie Brennan. And at half-time score here at Croke Park in the semi-final, it is Tipperary leading by 11 points.
So they do first ball in the second half, move it net from Eddie Brennan, so they're very dangerous all the time.
A place in the All-Ireland final at stake, 35 minutes to go, back to Stirlinger.
So we're ready for the start. Next 35 minutes in front of a crowd of 60,087, a huge crowd, and all to play for, just two between them. And straight away it's the danger man. Brennan, what a save by Brendan Cummins. What an explosive start to the second half, reminiscent of the Leinster final when he goaled on that occasion. And DJ in the follow-ups, again it's smothered in by the goalkeeper, and it's gone. Finally, I thought, for a 65, but Kilkenny are protesting. Watch it again here. Eddie Brennan was steaming in here. All systems go, beating Tom Costello, but it was deflected away well by Brendan Cummins. And then there was a little follow-up after all of that. But this was the goal chance. So similar to the match against Wexford. Then it went in. This time it stayed out. And it is going to be a 65, by the way. First of the match, DJ to take it. This to put 1 point between the teams. Got a beauty from this range in the Leinster final. That was 6 weeks ago, and 6 weeks on he's got his first point in the semi-final of the All-Ireland, and it's 11 points to 10. At half-time there was some discussion there about Henry Shefflin missing a couple of chances. He had 9 chances in that first half. He got 5 of them. By comparison, Owen Kelly, the danger man for Tipperary, 7 chances, 7 scores taken. Pressure back once again on the Kilkenny backs, but it's Sean Dowling doing well. Up as far as Henry Shefflin, still out there at right half forward, swinging this one into the left, and he swings it wide. No change in personnel, Cyril. They're waiting to make the changes if changes are going to happen. It looks like it's Brian O'Mara who's down injured.
Yeah, Gerard, they'll feel at half-time that they didn't play up to form in the first half, and I know Brian Cody Batten saying, listen lads, you're good enough, get out there and hurl. And the team is just, it's playing the way it's picked more or less. The thing that surprised me is that Henry Shefflin is still wing forward, because like, he's good no matter where you're playing, but like definitely in the centre you pick up more balls than any wing. You can dip into both sides.
Well, it's an intriguing tactical plan on the part of the Kilkenny mentors. You can watch once again here. That is where the injured player went down. Brian O'Mara back at his feet once again. Oh, we just got the hurl there of Sean Dowling. He's okay. Missed an All-Ireland final through suspension 2 years ago. Doesn't want to miss another if Tip are good enough to get the measure of Kilkenny. They lead by just a point, and there's going to be a free in. So a chance for Tipperary straight away. This is it here. You can see a catch by Peter Barry, but there was also a push and then a drag down of Conor Gleeson.
I don't know what Barry was trying to do there. He had the ball caught. All he was swing around him, but he tried to go straight through him, and the referee's right free. And
he's got to be careful. He's on a yellow card, remember, Peter Barry. Owen Kelly to strike this one. From 45 metres out, hit with his usual accuracy. He's got 8 points out of 8 shots. 2 between them. Early stages now in the second half of the second of the Guinness All-Ireland hurling semi-finals. Cork there already, final 3 weeks away. Nice hand pass here, out as far as Eddie Enright. Spills away, and it's once again John Carroll thundering forward, going for a goal. Stopped by McGarry this time. Didn't quite get the accuracy, and certainly not the power behind the final shot. Dowling swinging it away out of danger, still looking behind him, Sean Dowling, wondering how Carroll managed to get through. They're all wondering. At the other end, it's Comerford trying to take it up to himself. John Hoyne swinging at it. Ooh, it was Eddie Brennan who was drifting in beyond Tom Costello. The ball seemed to bounce very unkindly for all of them. Ball has gone wide. It's going to be a puck out. They can protest as long as they want to. This at the other end was the figure of John Carroll bustling his way through. He stabbed it against the ground. It came back up to James McGarry and to safety.
yeah, he'll be disappointed there, Joe, because usually he's very good at this. He's as strong as a tank going forward. Usually he'd swing that into the corner.
I don't know if we can blame the ball there. I think he just hit the ball into the turf and took the power out of the shot. Michael Kavanagh getting it away downfield for Kilkenny. Everybody trying to take command of the situation, including Eamon Corcoran in the gold helmet. The referee's going to throw the ball in. And you can see that Tommy Walsh there has been reacquainted with his own red helmet. Pressure once again on the backs. John Hoyne coming forward. Out comes Brendan Cummins. And the goalkeeper had to be at his very best. Cool and calm, out to Enright, hooked well. Mullally doing the hooking, runs on towards DJ Carey, taking on the man in the corner is Marr, and in off the side netting and the stanchion of the stick of the goalkeeper. It's gone for a 65. DJ out of puff. Kilkenny pressurising. Watch the hook once again here of Paddy Mullally on Eddie Enright.
It's dangerous in Gerard when he does this, because DJ's going to trap it through here.
A while ago.
Yeah, and Brian Cody preferred if he's tapping these over the bar.
Well, he got the last one. This is where he got the 65 off the stick of Brendan Cummins.
But look there, Ger, as if the ball was wide, even when Cummins did block it, he was actually behind the goal post.
May well have been. But the referee has given it, instructed by the umpire, in whom he has to have faith in situations such as that. And DJ from right in the middle of the field, 65 metres out, to make it 2 out of 2. In the space of a couple of minutes. Kilkenny may have been gifted that one, but they're all going to count. And it is 12 points to 11. The Munster champion, not the Munster champions, the would-be Munster champions, because they were beaten by Clare. But the Munster team just leading. Peter Barry in some difficulty, needing Derek Ling to come onto it, getting away from the attentions of Mark O'Leary. John Hoyne, that was beautifully taken. Lovely fluency in the movement here. Nicely in towards DJ, trying to turn, getting support, fired in, saved well. Eddie Brennan's shot going for the goal. Great save by Brendan Cummins. Out comes Martin Maher, and the cornerback clears it away downfield. Great excitement, all the pressure by Kilkenny. Good start to the second half. John Carroll had a goal chance earlier on. He has a point chance here, and he's taken it well. John Carroll, his first point of the day. Into full forward he's gone. 2 chances, start of the second half for Carroll. Missed the goal, but he scores the point, and Tip lead by 2.
Yeah, Jordan, if they go on to win this game, it'll have to be the saves by Brendan Cummins. I mean, it's a great score by Carroll up on his favourite left-hand side, but Cummins' saves will be top of the match.
Well, that's a couple of goal chances that Eddie Brennan's had. He might get a few more yet. He's ever a threat. This time it's Tom Costello, the man from Capel-White. Way downfield towards O'Mara, back on his feet as a result of the recovery from injury. Blocked down well by Michael Kavanagh. Kavanagh trying to take it away from danger. He was being fouled. Foul committed by Owen Kelly. A blow to the face. But let's take a look at the action at the other end just moments ago here. And it was Eddie Brennan who was coming onto it, swift as you like, and a great reflex save by Cummins. One of the great netminders of the last number of years, Brendan Cummins, and that's Michael Kavanagh and Owen Kelly for his troubles there in injuring the number 2 of Kilkenny. Has got a ticking by the referee, and he may well have to go off for attention because of the blood on his face. Saw Diarmuid O'Sullivan have to do that yesterday for Cork, and it's going to be
but out here along the ball.
Who'll come on.
Little whip from behind there, Owen Kelly. Didn't mean accidental.
So Philly Larkin coming back in, and he's in as a blood substitute, while the team doctor Ty Crowley can give attention to Michael Kavanagh. Huge free, pressure on the backs. Hoyne coming in, Brennan ever available, still dangerous. Goal!
It's coming for a while, Ger.
Eddie Brennan, third time of asking, has whipped it into the back of the net, mercilessly beyond Brendan Cummins. The man with the goal touch does it in the 10th minute of the second half. It's looked ominous for a while for these Tipperary backs, and in the end Eddie stepped aside this way and that and lashed it in past Cummins, who couldn't get the stick to it. And Eddie Brennan has struck his 8th goal ever in the championship today, playing in his 13th championship match for Kilkenny. What a game, what a goal, what a catch by Sean Dowling. Kilkenny leading by a point, won 11 to 13 points, 14 to 13. Good solid play by the wing-backs of Kilkenny. Sean Dowling again playing a good solid match. Stopped over there by Tom Costello, having the dangerous Eddie Brennan for company this afternoon. Line ball. A weary-looking Brian O'Mara, wondering whether he will be leading Tipperary in a few weeks' time in the final itself. There's a lot of work to do. Here's Tommy Walsh, setting sail once again, inside for Derek Ling. They look confident and classy, beautifully executed.
Pressure's coming on Tip now, they'll have to hang in. That's Tommy Welch's first real contribution. Beautiful little hand pass into Ling and straight over the bar.
2 between them now, but it's Kilkenny who lead. That goal of great importance, this point to add to it, and Derek Ling's first of the day. Brian O'Mara getting changed this time out of Sean Dowling, held on to, dragged back, and it's going to be a free in. This should be easy for Owen Kelly, but in a match of this importance, the pressure is going to be enormous from here on in. And you can see the backs protesting that there were far too many steps taken by Brian O'Mara. He had a free on his mind, you can be sure of that. Owen Kelly, everything's gone over so far. He's got 8, going for 9. And it's stopped this time, and it's Sean Dowling who takes the sting out of it. Going on the solo. Out to Paddy Mullally. Should have been a point for Tipperary. Instead, it's pressure on the tip backs. Kilkenny building once again. Tommy Walsh trying to take it on his stick. Two Tipperary men going for the same ball. It's Tommy Dunn who has it. Hand passed out here as far as Eddie Enright. Enright into the space. Carroll chasing after it. It's batted away there by the fullback, Noel Hickey. Near close to the sideline. Delaney trying to help out. This is O'Leary. Mark O'Leary. Everybody's after him. Just about gets the little tap onto it into the danger area. Dowling trying to get it out. It's with Brian O'Mara. Going around Ryle. 20 metres out. Hand passing out to Gleeson, and Conor Gleeson has tapped it over the bar. He's got a second point of the match, 1 in each half. Former captain of the Tip side, and 1 now between them.
Yeah,
a lot of huffing and puffing.
Shows grace balance here, takes him on here, little hand flick to Gleeson, bang over the bar.
And Michael Cavan is coming back into the action, and that means that Philly Larkin goes back off. 13 minutes now into the second half, and the goal here so terribly important. How crucial will it be at the end of the 70 minutes? Paul Kelly knocking it away to himself. Going back there to claim possession is Derek Ling. Huge one in, everybody's after it. Cummins drops it, Brennan's after it. Shefflin comes back off a stick or a post, comes out to Tommy Walsh. The shot comes back, this time off Paul Curran. Still it's Kilkenny. And it's stopped again by Cummins, comes out to Walsh. What a sequence, what a save again. Back to Walsh again. And it's a goal eventually by Tommy Walsh. 4 shots saved by Brendan Cummins. A second goal of the second half for Kilkenny, the champions. And the Leinster men are beginning to take a command here. How did the keeper keep them all out? Everybody was after it. Taken off the line by Costello, stopped again there by Curran. Back out it came, Eddie Brennan was around. Again there was a stop by Brendan Cummins. And finally, Tommy Walsh, second time of asking, away to the far corner and in. What a sequence. Oh, that was quite amazing.
Yeah, Brendan Cummins left to wonder where his defence was, because he brought off 2 or 3 saves, such Tommy Welch eventually got it. It was like rain and, you know, stones down on top of it. You know, you wouldn't know what to make of it.
Well, at the other end, the referee is concerned about an injury to Conor Gleeson. He's checking with his 2 umpires down there. Gleeson's okay. Big, strong, sturdy fellow. I mentioned he was a former captain of the Tipperary team. That was in '97 when, of course, Tip lost Leprosy. He was involved in that match where Tip lost to Clare, of course, in the All-Ireland final and Munster final. Peter Barry is the man who might be in trouble here. Let's just see. He's already been yellow carded. The referee isn't taking any action, but Peter Barry has to be careful. He's marking Conor Gleeson. Referee had a word, as you saw with the umpires, isn't taking any action here. Here they come again. Barry against Gleeson, and it's Gleeson who has won it. Conor Gleeson, Tip needing a recovery quickly. A couple of scores would do. Peter Barry on his hands and knees. It's vital that he stays in the match at all costs. He's a disciplined player normally, but he's up against the towering figure of Conor Gleeson.
Kilkenny are really fired up, Ger, now to hold on to this lead. They've got 2 crucial goals, and, you know, they feel they should pull away at this stage.
So 4 points between them. The Cats leading. Still in the 3rd quarter of this intriguing semi-final. James McGarry to hit the free. Lobbing it into the forwards. Let's see what they can do. Comerford breaking it down. Again, the dangerous men are around it. It's John Hoyne, almost tripped, gets back on his feet. Curran's against him. The Tipperary full-back, and the referee might throw the ball in. Now, the referee has been whistling and whistling and whistling. And the referee trying to restore some order. Not that it ever got particularly out of hand anyway, just a little heated.
You just feel, Ger, that to stay in this game, that Tip need a goal. Kilkenny are getting the goals and they're crucial.
That was the build-up to the last piece of play. Well, non-play, really. So when that's all finished, referee will throw it in. DJ going into contest, and Shefflin denied once again by Brendan Cummins. The keeper has done everything in his power to deny Kilkenny, but he's been beaten amazingly twice in the second half. Sheer persistence by the Cats. They were looking for number 3. Again, it's a good save and a 65.
Yeah, he's on top of his game, Ger, so Tipperary can thank him. Even though Tipper playing well, they're still 4 points down, but only for Cummins, you know, there could be 15 down.
This is a very bad spell in the match for Tipperary. They led at half-time, remember, by 2. And Michael Doyle and his selectors there, Liam Sheehy and Kevin Fox, have something to think about. Will they make changes as DJ comes to try and knock over his third 65 of the second half? Exacting the maximum.
Yeah, Ger, he's majestic, really. He rolls that ball, beautiful follow through, and they're all pressure 65s. He took the pressure off, you know, off Shefflin by taking these.
Ever since that Owen Kelly missed free some time ago, the game has seemed to switch around somewhat, and Kilkenny have taken a command. Once again, it's Kelly here, inside, towards Benny Dunn. How they could do it, a couple of really good moments from Benny Dunn, but they'll have to content themselves with a 65 up there to join the attack. Man who's had plenty of experience of playing as a forward, Benny Dunn. But there was a time not all that terribly long ago when you could have expected to see the name B. Dunn anywhere from number 4 upwards. Well, Michael Doyle and his mentors, and the fans indeed as well, have got to try and lift the team once again. And there is going to be a change, and it'll be Noel Morris, a midfielder who's going to come on, and the player who's going to go off will be Lar Corbett. What changes that will mean, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, Jerry, you'll find he'll go in around midfield and they'll shove up and he'll done up into the forwards.
And that has gone wide. Paul Kelly missing the 65. Tip needing a lift, needing it quickly. There's still plenty of time, but they're finding themselves 5 points adrift. Phase in the game when Kilkenny will just look to consolidate. What a job he's done. McGarry's puck out, this time favouring Tommy Walsh. Walsh breaks it down here, stabbed ahead there by Derek Ling. Back to Eamon Corcoran. Moving forward with great determination. Taken down here by Brian O'Mara. Eddie Enright adding to it, into space. Tip needing scores. Can Owen Kelly supply it? With a push in the back there, but Kilkenny get away with it, and Peter Barry's blocked down there. Conor Gleeson in the thick of the action. And once again, it's Peter Barry back there towards his fullback, Noel Hickey. What a combination. O'Mara trying to reach for this one. Has support, Enright to his left, doesn't need him. Feeding it inside to the forwards. It's interesting that Benny Dunn has gone up there to join the forwards to try and add a little bit of extra know-how. But JJ Donady's sheer skill and swiftness of delivery brings it back to midfield. Missed on the ground there by John Hoyne. Tip trying to get primary possession again, but denied by the exuberance and craft of Kilkenny here. Ball very near the sideline, still in play, the referee decides, up to that point there when he blew for a tip free. This is Peter Barry just a moment ago there. It's blocked down well, however, by Conor Gleeson. So it'll be a free to Tipperary to be taken by Tommy Dunn. 15 minutes, a little under, perhaps 14 minutes and counting still to go. A one-handed attempt that time by John Carroll is very ineffective, and McGarry with the clearance way out as far as Eddie Enright. On his left-hand side, into the space. Carroll battling, bustling, trying to make some headway. Owen Kelly on his hands and knees. They leave it behind to Noel Hickey, the fullback. Way in, first time away by Martin Maher. Paddy Mullally leaves it there for the man coming from behind him there, Sean Dowling. Towards Henry Shefflin, still on the wing. Played most of the game on the wing, in fact. Maher once again for Tipperary. Out into the centre to Eddie Enright, familiar style. Towards Owen Kelly, trying to draw it into himself. Has support with Benny Dunn close to him, taking on James Ryle. He was trying to link up, but in the end he gives it to JJ Delaney. And Delaney with the clearance way downfield towards Eddie Brennan. Attempting to turn, tripped, and it's going to be a free in for Kilkenny. Crafty as ever, frustrating Tipperary at this phase in the game. That was JJ Delaney, lovely little steal. Tommy Walsh is going off the Kilkenny team, and Jimmy Coogan, who got the all-important goal last year, is on, wearing number 22. More of the same, I'm sure, is the cry from the Kilkenny fans. Tip behind by 5 at this stage, facing this free from Henry Shefflin, and Shefflin has pointed, so 6 between them, and that's 6 points now credited to the account of Henry Shefflin in this match. Looking good for the Cats, leading by 6, 2-14 to 14 points. Tip now without a score for the last 10 minutes of the game. Michael Kavanagh here, sweeping onto it brilliantly. Great balance, now can he get it away quickly? He can, towards Coogan. First touch by the substitute. Up towards Martin Comerford. Lets it run on beyond Hoyne. And the final shot is by Coogan. The substitute has just put it to the left. So no joy with his first strike. Souvenir hunters at the back there looking for something. Meanwhile, at the opposite end, this was a catch by James McGarry and a rather half-hearted effort by John Carroll. Paddy O'Brien has come on for Mark O'Leary. O'Leary didn't have a profitable day, didn't score and wasn't really in the action. Brendan Cummins, both sides making the vital changes now, trying to edge the game their way. But it's very definitely tilting in Kilkenny's direction as Mullally bangs it away down towards Brennan. Nice hand pass back to Jimmy Coogan. And he's put it over the bar. Couple of touches now for the sub, and he's got his first point. Sent on to do a job, and that he's doing to perfection. 7 points the margin. Will it be a Kilkenny v Cork final, as many anticipated? Brendan Cummins puck out. Approaching the 25th minute of the second half as JJ Delaney takes it, so just over 10 to go. Not looking great for Tip, bad phase in the game. Costello driving it down, not getting much length into it. Comerford trying to steal it back onto his stick once again. Coogan trying to nick it up. Pass towards the other man in the green helmet, it's Shefflin. Hand passing it to space. Nice balance, good control, and it's Mullally to hit it, but he's put it wide.
Stage of the game now, Joe, where Tip are really gone out. They haven't scored for ages. Unless they get back into this game, Kilkenny will pull away.
Those goals, that barrage, which finally resulted in a goal by Tommy Walsh after 13 minutes of the second half, which beat Brendan Cummins for the second time of the game, really has set the Cats up. It's the platform upon which they're building. Tommy Dunn tried to deny them. Ready to carry the fight, stopped there by Sean Dowling. Nicely held on to there once again by Eddie Brennan. He's having a great match, and he's put it over the bar.
He sure is, Jerry. He's really on song. That's about a goal and 4 points he's got. Everything he touches, like he's really opened up the defence, has great pace. He's known as speed 8. He's not known as speed 8 for nothing. Here again, he even gets a foul here, but he gets away. Once he gets a yard at all, he's gone.
He's absolutely tormented Tom Costello. And Tip, I'm sure, have looked down their bench to see just where replacements might come for. It's on days like this that you remember back to the league final back at the beginning of May when they lost Philly Marr with a vital injury, as Brennan takes it again against Costello on his way through. No advantage accruing. It's going to be a free in. You might as well give the umpire permission to wave the white flag right now.
Yeah, you wonder how they're leaving Costa there because he's really going to town. Probably what Cody will do now, he's going to bring Eddie Brennan at the out wing forward because Shefflin has been limping a bit. He'll probably put Shefflin inside the full forward line and give Eddie a bit of running to do outside.
So Notebook is out, and it is Tom Costello who has the yellow card against him. Referee hasn't had to show the card on too many occasions. One for Peterborough in the first half, and now for Costello. But the serious questions have been asked all through the match of the Tipperary inside line, the defensive line, and they've been found wanting on many occasions. Brian Horgan is coming on. He's number 23. He's going to replace Eddie Enright. Even now, with about 8 minutes to go, it looks good, very good indeed for Kilkenny. It looks very bleak from the men from the Premier County. Only a couple of goals will save them, and Brian Cody is well aware of that.
Yeah, Gerard, they don't look like scoring goals. In actual fact, they've gone out of the game completely, and Kilkenny are very much on top.
Well, as a result of the foul by Costello and the yellow card, now the free, Henry Shefflin the taker. It uses up valuable time. 7 minutes remaining. And Henry belts it. 7 points now for Henry Shefflin. He's in it full forward. They're switching things around as they please. And there's a very wide margin between the teams. Tip, as you can see, they're ready to make another change. This time I wouldn't be surprised if it's in their back line. Benny Dunn firing it forward, stopped by JJ Delaney. Back up towards Eddie Brennan, this time going across and taking up the marking duties is Martin Maher.
Yeah, the fight seems to have gone out of Tip at the moment. Like, they're not just driving forward, they're just kind of playing very, very dead. And
when their real resolve and belief was searchingly looked at, they didn't have answers. Tom Costello is now off, and it is David Kennedy who's coming on. Kennedy coming on for his 20th championship experience into a really under pressure Tipperary full-back line. Fired it again dangerously towards Shefflin by Coogan. And they can protest all they wish, but it's a wide and a puck out for Brendan Cummins. 5.5 minutes are left. A resigned look on the face of Brendan Cummins. Do they really still believe they can still do it? Gleeson inside towards Carroll. Hasn't really got anything apart from that one goal chance in the second half. Stopped by Peter Barry. Over the head that time of Eamon Corcoran. That's Kennedy. Inside for Brian O'Mara, trying to pick off a score here from distance, and he's put it wide. It's turning into an absolutely wretched afternoon for Tipperary. They may have 14 points on the boards, but they're well behind Kilkenny.
yeah, Gerard, the Kilkenny half-back line of Dowling, Barry and Delaney in the second half got completely on top, and Ling and Mullally are ready to come into it as well. So, like, once the supply line is coming onto the Kilkenny forwards, they are lethal.
Tip with only 3 points in the second half. Trying to build another scoring opportunity. Stopped by Paddy Mullally. Seemed to be fouled, but the referee says play on. Tipperary do there with Paddy O'Brien. Interesting, as Mullally was losing possession of the middle of the field. He's the one change coming into this game, and it's curious, Cyril, how Brian Cody has been able to tinker with his team from time to time. You know, it's only the third match in the championship they've played this year. They've beaten Dublin, beaten Wexford. They now look like they're beating Tipperary, and the fans certainly believe that. But Brian Cody has shown that the training sessions matter, those matches between the A and the B team, as it were, that they really matter. And if you perform in there as Mullally has done so, he gets a place in the starting 15.
Yeah, Jaron, like that's the thing, you see, that those are performing. He's picking on performance in training. Everyone else kind of picking what they did last year. And like the thing is, like, you know, these guys, he's freshened up the team with all these new faces, and they're going to be in the All-Ireland final again, and they'll be hot favourites in there.
Comerford towards Henry Shefflin, breaking it down well. Returns sweetly, but he's put it wide. All a bit academic at this stage. That is 15 wides by Kilkenny. Took it down to himself. Had enough time. Almost like a training exercise for Kilkenny at this stage of the match. Good little block there by James Ryle, who stayed on the whole time, gained in confidence. The experience will have done him good. Paddy O'Brien. And that's over the bar. Well, a big gap between the scores for Tipperary. Paddy O'Brien, the scorer of that, making it 217 to 15 points. Here he is again. Well, it'll stay in the record books when we look through those records in future years. Please God, we'll be looking back and saying, well, who got all the scores for Tip that day? And P. O'Brien will have at least 1 point against his name. And Tommy Dunn, who was a real injury worry coming into this, wasn't quite himself, as expressive as he can be. No doubt hampered by the ankle injury, but he did well to get through the match.
This stage, he's gone pushed up into midfield.
There'll be 3 extra minutes to be played at the end of the 2 still to go in the 70. So we'll have another 5 minutes of this. And it's dominance by Kilkenny. Sean Dowling. Missed there by Curran. Brennan's in again, but he's left it behind. And Eamon Corcoran drops it away out of defence, but it's stopped again by Peter Barry, the centre half back. Forward here for Paddy Mullally. Up towards Henry Shefflin. Shefflin stayed inside, waited and scored! Good night, Tipperary.
Yeah, Jerry, he's moved in full forward. He's had a slight ankle injury. Just show how strong they are. They've Henry in full forward, DJ's gone, and Eddie Brennan's other corner. And like they've comfort out wing forward. They're very strong. That's the game over effectively.
Well, it's been over for some time, but it's absolutely buried beyond Tipperary's reach. Tip the Masters, Tip in the final. It's Kilkenny v Cork. No doubt about that. And the next few weeks we'll see all these Tipperary players like Paddy Mullally we were speaking about there have those vital competitions and training for the 15 starting places. John Hoyne will be hoping to be in there. It's well blocked down there by Martin Maher. The clearance, well, missed by John Hoyne. Away by Tommy Dunn. Here's Conor Gleeson. Inside towards John Carroll. James Ryle leaving it there for Michael Kavanagh to hit away. Paddy O'Brien under the dropping ball, but it's Mullally. He's played well. Likewise, Sean Dowling. Nothing's gone through that half-back line, really. Firm as you like. They say you build your winning teams on a winning half-back line. Kilkenny have that. And in Derek Ling, a real tear-away midfielder. That's a great score by Ling. He's got 2 points. He'll be among the starting 15. You can be absolutely certain for the All-Ireland final on the 14th of September. Kilkenny v Cork meeting in the championship final for the 19th time that day. Owen Brislane is coming on in place of Tommy Dunn. No point in continuing to aggravate the injury that he had going into the match. And that their 5th substitution, so in there just for the experience. A salutary lesson once again for Tipperary, their followers, their mentors and players. But they really operate against a class act. Kilkenny will go into the final as favourites, you can be certain of that, in spite of Cork's excellence yesterday against Wexford. Let's hope it's a great final. It's some weeks away now, but at least we can anticipate and look forward with some relish. I was mentioning there, Cyril, how in that final we won't be able to say just what the starting 15 for Kilkenny will be, because they'll be playing for places right up to the last week. But by comparison, you could nearly guess that Cork, for the 5th time, will start the same 15.
Yeah, Cork,
that's a guess.
They've kind of more or less mentioned, like, their team's been picked from training, let's say, early on there, and they've stuck with it. But Kilkenny, it'll be very hard to replace any of these guys unless there's injuries, because they all deserve to be on this team. Martin
Comerford, he'll deserve his place in the final, even with that wayward clearance. Pressure back on the backs, and that Tipperary's 33rd chance of the match. They've taken just 15. Kilkenny, by comparison, created 43 scoring chances, taking 21, otherwise 3 goals and 18 points.
Yeah, Gerard's been very impressed by Kilkenny. As it went on, the wore down Tipperary, and now they've taken over completely.
Only about a minute to go. A minute to take their players and fans out of their misery here. Corcoran came back from the 3-month suspension to have some very good moments in the championship. Tip, who lost to Clare in the opening round of the Munster Championship, are bowing out of the championship proper now at the semi-final stage. John Hoyne and his colleagues putting paid to their hopes. Jimmy Coogan has put this one wide. Lovely sweeping clearance here, great action by Sean Darling, beautiful to watch. Now, is there a team in the country that can beat Kilkenny? The only team left with that opportunity this year, the Munster champions. It's Munster versus Leinster in the final. Kilkenny overwhelmed Tipperary here. A convincing win by all of 9 points. It was very, very emphatic indeed, and doing the calculations properly, it was a victory of 3 goals and 3 points for Kilkenny, so 12 points in all they beat Tipperary by, and they're very, very worthy victors through to the final. Can they be beaten? That is the big question. Tipperary go to lick their wounds. They were well mastered this afternoon here, beaten, as I say, by 12 points in all, by 27 to 15. Kilkenny 3-18, Tipperary 15 points.
That game is Tipperary's wonder keeper Brendan Cummins, where despite the Cats getting 3 goals, anyone who was at the match was in no doubt that it could have been at least twice that if it wasn't for Cummins today. Pete, what a performance he put in.
Absolutely unbelievable. It's rare that we see somebody from the losing team get man of the match, but in fairness to Brendan, he stopped bullets. Had he not, the game could have been over in the first half, let alone the second half. And some of those, when you consider this new ball is flying faster than ever, yeah. Tommy Walsh got 3 shots at goal, and he blocked them all except for the last one. But again, it was a magnificent performance, and he's a super goalkeeper.
Okay, strong words spoken and written on the subject in the past few days, and during the week also. Marty Morrissey got the views of Kilkenny captain DJ Carey.
In my opinion, a fella should be able to exploit his name. There's no doubt about it. But then, when you have the same company with a corporate box in close,